It's the W.E.I.R.D.O show. It's the W.E.I.R.D.O show. It's the W.E.I.R.D.O show. It's the W.E.I.R.D.O show. And I'm glad you know that it's the W.E.I.R.D.O show. Hope you're ready for acts you've never seen before. Cause it's the W.E.I.R.D.O show. It's the W.E.I.R.D.O show. It's the W.E.I.R.D.O show. It's the W.E.I.R.D.O show. Coming across for everyone to view on how I do what I do. See the old to the new in the W.E.I.R.D.O show. Yeah. This is the W.E.I.R.D.O show. Let's get it. Guys, it's your girl W.E.I.R.D.O coming at you. Alright, first off, I wanted to apologize to you guys. I know that I look really messed up right now. However, I had a scare for the past for the past week. So not only was I going through so much things, I lost my car, finishing up schoolwork for the semester of college that I had, budgeting myself as an artist despite the coronavirus around. And to be honest, I did have a coronavirus scare for a moment, but I got tested and I don't have it. Allergies. However, I don't stop for anybody, and I mean anyone. I still keep going despite everything, and in the midst of all that did happen, I can honestly say, one, I'm glad I don't have corona, and two, this only makes me want to work harder, but I still believe that everyone should be safe out here. Now, on to what inspires me as an artist. So, as a child, I didn't necessarily grow up in New York. I didn't go to school there. I didn't live there. My family members had lived there, but I never had the chance to, me or my little sister. That's how I grew up listening to the music that I listen to now and how I was so influenced. My mother, she used to, when I was a child, she used to play hits for us. She used to play old school hip hop. I'm talking Run DMX, LL Cool J, MC Light, Salt and Pepper, and so many other artists of the 80s and of the 90s. But hip-hop wasn't the only genre that intrigued me. Really, my mom, she played so many different genres, but it was always the essence of our blackness. She played Motown hits. I remember her playing Diana Ross, forgive me for that. Diana Ross and Supremes. I remember listening to Marvin Gaye, I used to love Stevie Wonder so much. I loved Prince, I loved Michael Jackson, and I loved even the old school, the Platters, and the Spinners, and oh my gosh, just so many different Motown artists. And I always knew a Motown hit because it always had a Barry sax in it. I always could detect when I was going to hear a Motown sound. The way it would start, and then the Barry sax would have sometimes its own little solo. Like if you listen to any Motown hit, if you hear a Barry solo in there, like a baritone sax solo in there, you know it's a Motown hit. Enjoy listening to those hits, and we listen to funk music, pop, reggae, disco. We listened to so many different genres at the time, but for me with hip hop, the message though was a great song, and I love the message even to this day. I think for me though, what inspired me as far as hip hop was Ch.3. And Ch.3 was this artist back in the 80s and the 90s. I remember my mom, she played this one song, and it's called Caught Up. And he did an album with this guy named Hitman Howie T. This is way before my time, of course. I just remember that intro coming on, and I stopped everything I was doing. I had to be around 6 or 7 years old at the time. And I fell in love with it. For me though, it was those artists that really changed And for me, that's what made me love hip hop, was that song. And I used to know that song bar for bar. And again, this is a song that no 6 or 7 year old should know. But it was just so dope. I wasn't so much listening to the lyrics or understanding the lyrics so much. It was that sound. It was such a 80s and 90s bop. Like, you could go in the club and dance to that song. I loved it. But there were so many other artists that we listened to, and my mom, she didn't just stick with Essence of Blackness. She wanted us to know our blackness, but sometimes she played classical music. She loved soft rock, so I really got to enjoy that, and really that helped propel me into enjoying rock music and getting into it, or later on in life as I got older. But another genre that we definitely made an impact on me was gospel. Gospel for me, hearing people like Kirk Franklin, hearing Fred Hammond, hearing BB and CC Winans, Donnie McClurkin, Yolanda Adams, Ty Tribbett. These were a big part of my childhood because I was also a church-going girl. I went to church, I went to daycare, and so I was just getting so many mixes of genres. There were still classic hits that I loved. I still loved Jay-Z. I loved Talib Kweli. I loved Common. I loved so many artists. I used to love Alicia Keys. I felt like Alicia Keys was really phenomenal at the time. Yeah, I used to have her songs on repeat. But yeah, it wasn't until I got older when I started listening to rock music. In high school, I definitely got into Paramore and, Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy, which I wasn't really listening so much to Panic at the Disco like I could have been, but I listened to a lot of other songs too, or other bands. Like I did like 311, I liked OK Go, especially their music videos. I thought they were always doing something different with their music videos, which made me tune in more. It was a smart move on their part. But My Chemical Romance, L1011, The Postal Service, Sum 41, Blink-182, Nirvana, Foo Fighters, Muse, Def Cab for Cutie, Alice in Chains, Smashing Pumpkins, Soundgarden. I fucking love Soundgarden. I freaking loved Soundgarden. Tool, No Doubt, Goldfinger, Radiohead, even Coldplay and the Frank. I will admit, I listened to Coldplay and the Frank. And I also did love this group called Self, which is sad. Not a lot of people know about Self. They were one of the first CDs I ever bought with my allowance, like as a child, when my mom was giving out allowance for a short amount of time. But they were just so out of the ordinary, that band Self. And I was really inspired by Self too, because they were always bringing something different. A different sound, a different tune, a different wave. Their albums are all different. There was one album that they did where they used toys as the instruments for most of the songs. I thought that was so cool. Honestly, getting into rock was really awesome, and there's so many artists out there. My playlist has exceeded way over 1,000. It might be over 2,000 now. Honestly, I think my rock playlist is bigger than all my playlists. But I still listen to my melanin playlist. I listen to jazz artists. I love jazz. I love blues. Definitely. Ray Charles and oh my God, so many artists. But people that inspire me now, I would say, is Nate Smith. Yeba, definitely. Thad Jones, love his stuff. Chika, Jacob Collier, Saba, Earth Gang, Thundercat. Pat Metheny is dope. He's dope. Wyclef Gordon, if you're a trombonist, especially if you're new to it. Herbie Hancock is dope. George Gershwin, the Underachievers. Prince, always. Denzel Curry, Tyler the Creator, Animals as Leaders, Olivia, Sater, Young, Noname, Tank and the Bangers. They're dope. And just so many other artists. Like, jeez, these people inspire me. Like, these are people that I love to listen to on a daily basis now. I've gotten older and my taste in music has gone more towards classical and jazz and still hip hop, but more conscious, and I get into a lot of weird, soul, neo-soul or funk stuff. I love funk. I will play the heck out of funk. And play my trombone with funk, even better. And really, the person that inspired me the most as a hip-hop artist or as a lyricist really was Childish Gambino. Because for me, I didn't believe that nerds could rap. I didn't. And seeing this guy, he was out here doing it. He may not have been getting a lot of recognition at the time, but he was just putting in the work. And there was just this spark about him, this thing about him that I understood and I respected. He really was bringing something different. And it's sad that a lot of people didn't really know him until because of the internet. But I really was messing with Childish Gambino, when he was putting out his mixtapes. And he's one of the reasons why I started rapping. Once I realized that, oh man, nerds can be rappers too. I always felt like, you had to be super cool to be a rapper. You couldn't be weird or lame. Couldn't be a nerd. And so it's just really awesome knowing that because of him, he kind of changed that perspective for me. Anyways, I don't plan to talk your head off all day. I just wanted to let you guys know what truly inspired me. And if you like these artists, check them out. I'll even post the artists down there. Check them out. I think you should really get into them. So my next video is really going to be about me deciphering my lyrics. Talk is cheap. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Check out my single on all music platforms. Also on the link down below. And I also put down my Bandcamp and my Patreon. Just started those. So my album, Movie Times Vol.1, is scheduled to be out May 22nd, 2020. So please check it out. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. I wish this coronavirus would be over so that we could tour. I promise you I am safe. So I ask that you guys be safe as well. I'm going to be even more isolated in my house now. Alright? So check me out. Alright. Much love, guys. Be safe. We're done.